As a woman in finance, I'm looking at the W-2s, I'm looking at the federal withholdings on a lot of these men's income taxes, and it's just like the lifestyle that you ladies want, y'all need to go to work. They cannot take it. On the salary that they have right now, it's no way you can go to Chanel, and it's no way you can take these luxurious trips. I need for y'all to go to work too, because trying to stay at home with one person's income and it's not over 200,000, and that's me talking about Texas 200,000, not LA 200,000, not New York 200,000, not Atlanta 200,000, and Atlanta you can put that with the Houston 200,000. So yeah, if you want to live this lifestyle, you gotta go to work. Like, I'm sorry, you gotta go to work. You gotta go get you some money, because he's not gonna be able to do it by himself in today's time.
Yeah, I mean, it's most most people have to work two jobs, and that's okay. Like, that's really okay, especially if you're talking about a lifestyle where you're married, where you want to be married, you want to send your children to private school or to a nice school, have a good life, and you want to be able to stay at home, which is a great thing. I think, my mom, she never worked. Well, she did work a little bit, but she also had a lot of kids. So it was like she had to be home with us. But the fact that she's saying that as a financial professional, someone who's in finance, she says that the men not making the money that they need to make to give the women the luxurious lifestyle that they want. And I don't know, man, but I just think it's important for people to understand that there's a difference between reality and fantasy. There's a difference between reality and fantasy. I've been graced to know some people who do well. I've been graced to do what God has blessed me to do and have. But I'm telling you, when the bills start coming in for luxury living, for luxurious living, for top-notch life, top shelf life, when the bills start coming in, it's real. They don't stop coming. So this idea, I don't even, to be honest with you, I don't know where it really started, because I didn't grow up hearing that. I didn't grow up seeing that. I also, when I went to college, I didn't really see like this wave of women who just wanted to be home. I didn't really hear that narrative. It seems like this has been kind of new within the past 10 years or so of this social media age, just like being infiltrated with like all kind of conversations and people just grabbing hold of frameworks, grabbing hold of what they hear and regurgitating it. Like when I was, doing a bunch of dating, especially before Christian, women wanted to work, they wanted a good career. Now I'm hearing the opposite. They want to go to school, they want to have the luxury of, if I want to work and work this career, great, but I don't want to have to work. I want to be able to stay home and just take care of the house and the children, which I think when it's purposeful, it's a beautiful thing. But to just do it, just to be able to do it, I think is what I'm hearing a lot of. It comes down to status. This is a lifestyle. It's a luxury lifestyle versus just, we're a happy home, we're a happy family, we're a healthy home, we're a healthy family. We love each other in terms of our, from spouse to spouse. We love our children, we're nurturing them up, like they're doing things, like it's a lot of work, but we're thankful. I don't really hear that. I hear it's like a status symbol. Oh, I'm a stay-at-home mom and all I do is this. And literally very, very little of it has anything to do with like how they're pushing the family forward. Typically, I just hear them selling other women on it. That's just what I've heard. And because I know how hard my mom worked, I think people are like underestimating how much work it really is to be a stay-at-home wife and mother. It's a lot of work. My mom did a lot of work, and I don't think people are really being honest about the amount of emotional and mental draining that like, or should I say, the emotional and mental strength that it takes to be a stay-at-home mom and a stay-at-home wife. That's a lot of work. It's not like you can quantify it based off a 9 to 5. You know, you're dealing with actual human beings that have feelings, that have something to say, that's thinking opposite of you. One day they're with you, the other day they're not with you. So it's like, it's a lot to really think about. So I think when I hear about it, it's less about purposeful staying at home, like, you know, moving the family forward, praying, covering your husband, covering the children, raising the children, nurturing the children, all of that good stuff, right? And hard work. But it seems more like lifestyle. Like I heard her mention like Chanel and trips and all this kind of stuff. I just don't think people are living in reality. I really don't. You know, I don't have a ton of debt or anything like that, but it's like the things I hear and see people saying they're doing, and I'm like, and what are they doing? Like, how are they able to make ends meet? But that's not my problem to figure out. I learned to let that go, but it just have never made sense to me, knowing how much things cost, knowing like, hey, at some point we're not going to be able to work, like, so we should be putting something in retirement. Like learning these little things, and it's like, how are y'all able to do all this stuff? Knowing people who have way more money than me, and I'm seeing how they move, and I'm just like, how are these other people who I know, some of them don't have the coins, they're just doing anything and everything. Listen, I don't know how it's done, but hey, what I do want to say is she mentioned $200,000 a year being the bare minimum. Listen, most of us aren't making $200,000 a year. And that's just the reality, and that's okay. We can live well and good without making that. But even then, if you're talking about being married with children, with a home, and living off that, yes, you can make it happen, right? But if you're also talking about putting money away for retirement, if you're also talking about saving a good amount for a rainy day or your expenses up to a year, you're talking about making some investments to grow your money. That in itself will go fast. And I don't even think that they talked about if it was 200,000 before taxes or after taxes, and that's a whole nother conversation. But anyways, ladies, y'all let me know what is the whole fantasy behind being a stay-at-home mom and shopping at Chanel, because that's a whole nother thing. I don't understand the name brand addiction. I just don't get it. The Louis Vuitton, you know, the Balenciagas. I don't get the addiction behind like the desire for this stuff. You know, I desire to just look good in my clothes. You know, the ones that I have, the ones that I like. But there are some people who gotta have that name brand stuff. So maybe, not to say that I'm any better than you or you're better than me, but maybe it's something you can teach me or tell me that I'm not understanding about this conversation. Because from my understanding, you know, women want it to work. Like they want it to be purposeful. Now it's like they don't want that at all. Then also, like, what's the addiction, or what's the fanfare behind designer brand? I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I'll catch y'all in the next video.